Bow, bow, bow. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of MIA. So, I'm your host. I'm Nikki Says You Only Live Once, and we have two special guests on our show. We'll be talking about the best selling book, Reclaiming My Life, and the Holistic Soul Festival taking place in South Florida. Now, our first guest, she is a 9-time best-selling author and a TV host at Preach the World's Worldwide Network. Let's welcome Claudia Massey to MIA Soul.
Yes, so glad to be here. Truly honored. Thank you so much for having me.
For sure, you have such an inspiring story, and you have so many accolades. Congratulations on that.
Glory to God. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so let's start from the beginning. What inspired you to write Reclaiming My Life?
Wow, just looking over my life. Sometimes we don't want to look back, but I truly had to look back and just think of all the things I had gone through in my life. Sexual trauma, domestic violence, wrongful eviction, the grief, losing my mom, and just, looking at where I am today. And I was like, Lord, truly by your grace, I have reclaimed my life. So that inspired me to write the book, Reclaiming My Life.
Wow, that's a lot that's a lot to go through. When you first began your healing journey, did you ever envision it evolving into like a book, a podcast, and now a documentary?
Never, never. You know what? My healing journey actually began in 2015. And I won't really say the healing journey because I lost my mom in 2015. But it was towards the end of 2015, when going through all of those negative emotions from grief, and anger being one of them, sadness and all. Those negative emotions allow me to release and just, feel so liberated because that's when I said that I was sexually violated. My uncle, he stole my virginity. And by me releasing that, that's, really how my healing journey began because, when we hold things in for so long, we suffer in silence and we just let it all out, that's how we start to heal. So that was my healing journey. It didn't have anything to do with the radio, television, or anything. It was all about me. And I had no idea that God would, work through me to help others on their healing journey through reclaiming my life.
Yeah, and just listening to you, for you to be so openly open to talk about what you went through, that means that you are definitely in a stronger place. You're strong, you're able to vocally and verbally talk about it, and you're standing firm. I know people that been through that trauma, they may start crying or they may need a second, but you're like in a place where you can talk about it to help other people as well. And when it comes to sexual abuse and that type of trauma, do you think that there is more awareness being spoken about it in this day and age versus in the past or maybe 10 years ago?
Hmm. Absolutely. Because you didn't really hear people talk about, I was sexually violated, whether it was a family member. And it's always hard, especially when it's a family member, because we don't want to disrupt, that family bond. We don't want to be an outcast because even when I shared, to be honest with you, I didn't have, family members who were surprised. So by them not being surprised, it really said a lot. You know what I mean? But today, I have people coming on my radio show, my television show, who is talking about, hey, I was sexually violated. It's like you're hearing this every day because the thing about reclaiming my life, the platform in itself is because we're sharing these kind of testimonies, it's giving our neighbors hope. Hey, I can reclaim my life. Because when we don't share our testimonies, then people feel like I'm going through this alone. It only happened to me. So, I love what I'm doing. But yes, indeed, Nicole, I do want to say, even a few weeks ago, I had a guest on my show who was a male. And I mean a male who is a big influencer, right, in the gospel music industry, who came on my television show. He has a book out, Nico Flowers. His book is My Hurt, Your Heal. And he talks about how he was sexually violated as a child by a male cousin. So when I say that people are really releasing, and sharing these testimonies of how they struggled but have now reclaimed their lives. So yes, it's very much so talked about now.
Yeah, yeah. That's progress. Definitely progress. And it could be the closest ones that you will never, never suspect.
Yes.
Was there a chapter or story in the book that was the hardest for you to write, but the most necessary to share?
Mm. Well, I would say, of course, the sexual abuse, which I've already touched on. And, because it was by my uncle, my uncle stole my virginity. No one wants to talk about, a family member, whether it's your father, your uncle, you think about, just how gross that is. But, it's necessary. You use the right word, it's necessary. But I must also say the domestic balance, because my domestic violence, it looked like it wasn't me being punched in my face or beaten, but it was me being pushed to the floor or a fist balled up in my face. And people, we have to realize, acknowledge it for what it is. That's still domestic violence. Sometimes when people will say, well, he was only pushing me, or she only put their fist in my face, or we have to realize that that's domestic violence. That's physical abuse. It's mental and emotional abuse. So we have to call it what it is. It's domestic violence. So that's why it's important as well. And it really took me back to a place when I was writing, of again, how I had reclaimed my life. Because when I was in that marriage, I was constantly praying to God, get me out of this. I even thought about committing suicide because I was struggling. I was seriously struggling mentally, So, again, that's how reclaiming my life, it just means so much to me. That's how it truly came about. So, yes, those were some hard topics there, the sexual abuse and domestic violence.
Yeah, and reclaiming your life. And it takes a lot after that experience. It definitely takes a lot to take control and not be a statistic in a sense. Yeah.
Absolutely. I want to tour, I want to go to different churches, events, women teas and whatnot. I want to share this documentary. I want to talk with women and men because a lot of times, we overlook our men, like they aren't going through anything, but men, they are going through as well. So, it's all inclusive. I just want to travel the world and talk to them and give them hope that and embrace them. I'm a hugger, Nicole, so embrace them because a lot of people aren't being touched. A lot of people don't have anyone to say, I love you or to comfort them, and I'm a nurturer. So I just want to, put my hands on somebody and give them a tight hug and tell them, it's hope. You can reclaim your life.
Yes, you can reclaim your life. Well, Claudia, thank you so much. You're so inspirational. And it's so comforting to see that you're able to heal from your past experience and trauma, and that now you're helping others with what you went through. And congrats on all your accolades with, the worldwide network, the podcast, the documentary. Congrats on that, and we're looking forward to what you're doing next. So we'll definitely continue to follow your next journey.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. And y'all, what an inspirational guest. She has been through a lot in her past and she has reclaimed her life. So make sure to support her platforms, her podcast. And we do have 2 more guests coming up next. We'll be talking more holistic. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
History? Yeah, we built that. Pride? We fuel that. And on August 30th, we run that. 2 powerhouse HBCUs, Howard Bison, FAMU Rattlers, one legendary showdown under the Miami lights at Hard Rock Stadium. The energy unmatched. The culture undeniable. The vibes straight HBCU. Get your crew. You don't want to miss this. Lock in your seats now at orangeblossomclassic.com.
Miami-Dade is filled with dreams, talent, love. At the Children's Trust, we are dedicated to nurturing the potential of every child and family with hundreds of trust-funded programs. Find a program at thechildrenstrust.org.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman and Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family, our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters. Because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. Demesman and Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
Get ready to groove at this year's Juneteenth Juke Joint on June 7th at 7:30 p.m. Enjoy live music by the W's, beats by DJ Cardi, visual art, and more. Get your tickets now at archcenter.org.
Help comes in many forms. As a Miami-Dade County bus operator, you can help your community, help those in need, and even help yourself. Operators have the opportunity to earn more than $50,000 a year plus built-in overtime, earn more than 13 paid holidays and vacation days, and take advantage of the tuition reimbursement program. Plus, qualified new drivers will receive a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Become a driving force in our community. Apply now at miamidade.gov/busdriver.
The city of Miramar is excited to invite you to a special celebration, Miramar Day, as we honor 70 incredible years of our vibrant city. Join us on Monday, May 26th from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Shirley Bronca Park for an unforgettable day filled with live music, delicious food, family fun, and the true spirit of community. Register now at miramarday2025.eventbrite.com and be part of the celebration.
And welcome back. So now we have our second guests on the show. We'll be talking about the Holistic Soul Festival, a game changer in our community in South Florida. So we're here with Wilcaria Castillo-Gilbert and also Aniola Pierre. Well, thank you so much for being our MIA Soul guest. So let's get right into it. So either one of you, what inspired the creation of the Holistic Soul Festival?
Wow. Nikki, for one, I want to thank you so much for having us on here. I'm so grateful. What really inspired us is we had this conversation and we were talking about healing within our community and what that looks like. And what we realize is that when we think of healers, when we think of the yoga, when we think of a lot of these different modalities, we realize we're in these spaces, but when it's presented to us as somebody that looks different than us. And what we wanted to do was bridge the gap with the community and show them the healers within the community that look just like you, that is a reflection of you. We've always been healers in this space, and we just wanted to create a festival to bridge the gap, bringing the healers and the community together.
Yeah. Did a personal experience bring you into this type of field? Like, did something happen for you to be interested in the holistic type of category or?
For sure. I know. Well, you want to mention what brought you?
I mean, for me, actually, what got me into the holistic wellness space, Nikki, is that I had a cousin who suffered from cancer. And so I went digging and I found natural ways that people were using to heal themselves. And so I went down the rabbit hole and I myself practiced a lot of the healing methods that I've learned, like juicing, eating raw as a raw vegan, and just cleansing for a very, very long time, for many, many years. So that's what started me on my journey.
Okay. And as for me, I used to be a correctional officer for 7 years. So I know I used to be a correctional officer for 7 years, and I didn't really have the tools in regards to how to handle my stress. You know, sometimes we can do like the formal talk therapy, but what really worked for me was more so me reconnecting from an ancestral perspective when it comes to healing modalities and meditation. And that's what bridged the gap for me. So in terms of, you know, when people try to look for different alternatives in regards to healing, when it comes to certain traumas, it was these holistic healing modalities that helped me transition into a more peaceful life. And that's what I want to give to the community.
Yes.
Yeah. So why do you feel this festival will be a game changer within Miami-Dade County?
I personally think that there are so many people that are that are saging at home, that are doing meditation at home, that are listening to the high frequencies on YouTube at home, and no one talks about it. You know what I mean? Everybody's at home doing all these amazing things that our ancestors did, and so we want to create a safe space for people to come and be with like-minded people.
Right. Like-minded people. But not only that, for people that don't know, I really want to
Yes.
bring the exposure to people, because when I think of my grandma, like in terms of Reiki, because people get to experience that at the festival. In terms of Reiki, growing up, my grandma was the person that people came to if they had any ailment, and she just had that touch. She just had that energy. And all of us, I don't know, I know about my grandma, but we each have someone in the family that was able to rub us down and heal us and nurture us back. That is something that is in our DNA, and that's something we shouldn't forget.
Yes.
And it's just connecting everyone to seeing it's not really what you think, because the media, when it looks like you,
Mhm.
it's portrayed as something that's evil.
Mhm.
And the reality of it is grandma was always doing it.
Right.
Grandpa was always doing it. It was just a different name. It was just a different name, but they were always doing it. And we are healers. When we gather collectively as a community, when we connect with each other, we're healing each other, whether it's in conversation, whether it's in touch, we are healing each other. And it's very important that we get to experience that.
Yeah, and you know, I'm Caribbean, and again, there's so many natural remedies that
Mhm.
that we can use on a daily basis to help our overall health. But then in Western culture, there's so much orthodox that is being pushed and shoved in our faces, which makes us even more sickly and make us go to the hospital more. So the holistic approach, it is definitely what our vessel is and was made for, you know.
Mhm.
It is great that you're bringing this light to our community. And like what you said, given, you know, who we are and given our backgrounds, when we do practice such, it is considered like, oh, what are you doing? That's not of the world. But, you know, you know, that's a perception, you know? So, yeah, yeah. So what kind of activities and workshops or programs can we expect at the festival?
So the I hear an echo. I don't know, but the
I hear
main.
it. You're good on my end.
Okay. All right, awesome, awesome. So we're gonna have, well, my favorite part is gonna be the aerial yoga, where we're gonna have individuals strapped on to this 20-foot platform, and we're gonna have some silks that you're gonna wrap your body in, and you're gonna be able to be inverted. You're gonna be able to do a split. You're gonna be able to do a pose and take pictures. It's gonna be a really nice activation. And then
Mhm.
aside from that, we're gonna do yoga. We're going to do sound healing. Everybody's going to be able to participate in those. And then surrounding the areas, we're going to do things like Reiki, massage chairs.
Acupuncture.
Oh,
We have sip and plant, where you get to learn about the different herbs that you can use to heal your body. And then we also have an amazing panel discussion that we'll have with some experts that'll provide us with some tools. And the panel discussion is basically healing intergenerational trauma. So, you know, when it comes in terms to our community, how we heal ourselves, there's a lot of trauma that we're holding on to ancestrally from our grandma, our great great grandma, to this point of where we're at now. And we just want to provide the tool. We want to open the discussion. We're here, we're family, and we just want to heal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah. So, okay, so this is the first inaugural festival.
Yes,
Yes, it
yes,
is.
yes.
It is.
So tell
And
us
we
more
also have poets and performers. I didn't want to, yeah. So you'll have singers and poets, because that's a form of healing too.
And you're also going to have the market with the vendors and the food trucks, of course. We have
Yes.
some healthier options, but they're very tasty. And so we're excited to bring that forth so people can, see a different food choices. And we're going to have some cooking demonstrations as well.
Yes.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to have a nice vibe in the evening with some nice lighting. It's going to be amazing.
Yes.
It's gonna be really-
Okay.
And,
So how can we find more details? Where is it? What time? All that good stuff. Yeah, tell us more about it. Where can we find details to attend?
So you can find us at on Instagram at Holistic Soul Festival. That's our
Instagram
handle, Holistic Soul Festival. And then our website is www.holisticsoulfestival.com. The event is going to be taking place at Betty T. Ferguson in the city of Miami Gardens on May 31st, 2025.
That's on a Saturday.
And that's on a Saturday from 4 to 10 p.m.
All right. Yeah. And Memorial Weekend, that time, the weather should be nice and cool here in South Florida. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Perfect. Don't forget y'all sunscreen. Okay. All right. Well, this is phenomenal. Well, thank you so much. There's a lot of practitioners they're in the holistic space, but they're not as recognized as the orthodox type of space, and the thing is, I have tried to seek out holistic healthcare, but the insurance don't cover it, or it's super, super expensive. They're independent, and there's such a disparity with being holistic versus them putting you on the pills. So it's so great that you're bringing this initiative down to South Florida and our community as well. And South Florida is a melting pot of the diaspora. We got so many remedies
of so many different cultures. And the thing is that we just need to tap into that holistic, we have the medicine within our community. We just need to, and that's what we want to do. We want to connect you to the practitioners. We want to connect you to the holistic healers where you don't feel like you have to search. You'll experience it there at the Holistic Soul Festival.
And we don't want to do away completely with modern medicine. Really, the event is really to bridge the gap between the holistic and wellness space and modern medicine, because at the end of the day, if you need surgery, you still got to go and see that surgeon, right? So we're bringing forth a speaker who also owns a healthcare. And so we're going to have holistic health and modern medicine.
So again, Aniola, Pierre, and Wakera Castillo Gilbert, thank you so much. Looking forward to this festival. It is much needed in our community, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you for having us, Nikki. Thank you.
And y'all, so please go out and support the Holistic Soul the Holistic Soul Festival. Y'all catch that? Okay. So coming up next, Dr. Delvena, she's all about mental health awareness. We'll be right back.
History? Yeah, we built that. Pride? We fuel that. And on August 30th, we run that. 2 powerhouse HBCUs, Howard Bison, FAMU Rattlers, one legendary showdown under the Miami lights at Hard Rock Stadium. The energy unmatched. The culture undeniable. The vibes straight HBCU. Get your crew. You don't want to miss this. Lock in your seats now at orangeblossomclassic.com.
Miami-Dade is filled with dreams, talent, love. At the Children's Trust, we are dedicated to nurturing the potential of every child and family with hundreds of trust-funded programs. Find a program at thechildrenstrust.org.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Massey and Dover law firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family. Our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters. Because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. The Massey and Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
Get ready to groove at this year's Juneteenth Juke Joint on June 7th at 7:30 p.m. Enjoy live music by the W's, beats by DJ Cardi, visual art, and more. Get your tickets now at archcenter.org.
Help comes in many forms. As a Miami-Dade County bus operator, you can help your community, help those in need, and even help yourself. Operators have the opportunity to earn more than $50,000 a year plus built-in overtime, earn more than 13 paid holidays and vacation days, and take advantage of the tuition reimbursement program. Plus, qualified new drivers will receive a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Become a driving force in our community. Apply now at miamidade.gov/busdriver.
The city of Miramar is excited to invite you to a special celebration, Miramar Day, as we honor 70 incredible years of our vibrant city. Join us on Monday, May 26th from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Shirley Bronca Park for an unforgettable day filled with live music, delicious food, family fun, and the true spirit of community. Register now at miramarday2025.eventbrite.com and be part of the celebration.
Hey, Nikki. Are you ready to take the couch? It's time for the Mental Health Corner with me, the Queen of Brain Love, Dr. Delvena. I am still discussing the benefits of femininity in the workplace, but this time it's about entrepreneurship. Femininity as an entrepreneur encourages relationship building, which strengthens networks and partnerships. Femininity as an entrepreneur will leverage intuition to make authentic, impactful decisions. Number 3, femininity in the workplace inspires a nourishing business culture that attracts loyal clients and team members. Femininity in the workplace as an entrepreneur facilitates adaptability and resilience in the face of challenges. And number 5, femininity as an entrepreneur infuses creativity and passion into the brand and the business vision. That's all I have for now. Say brain love. And guys, before I get out of here, I have I have 2 more things that I want to share with you. Bam, Brain Food, and bam, Brain Sleep. These are 2 books that I wrote. I put these books together. They contain illustrations which are hand-drawn. Check that out. These books are check that out. That's me in the kitchen. These books are very informative and can help you identify challenges in your daily lifestyle that may be leading to your mental health challenges. So listen, Brain Food, I talk to you about the foods that we should eat that can help foster and nourish and help support our mental health. In Brain Sleep, I discuss extensively sleep hygiene and how sleep hygiene is vital for our mental health and our wellness. It tells you the do's and the don'ts. So please go on Amazon, search for my name, Dr. Delvena Thomas, and these books will pop right up. You don't want to search for the titles of the books because many other things will populate. So it's been easier for my supporters to do a search for my name on Amazon. Thank you for your support.
And welcome back. And I just want to say, brain love, Dr. Delvena. Well, thank y'all so much for tuning in. A big shout out to our guest for today, Claudia Massey with Reclaiming My Life, and also Valkyria and Aniola Pierre with the Holistic Soul Festival going down right here within South Florida. And my co-host, Dr. Delvena. Thank y'all so much, and we'll see you soon.